Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quiver Podcast. And today, after a week of recovery, introspection, depression, and whatever you had to go through, we will be previewing the DLSU versus NUK happening this weekend. And I'm Kiko, joined today by Vic and Brian to do this with me. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining us
Hello.
today.
Hello.
Kamusta kayo? How are you guys?
Gusto ko na maglaro
Okay naman.
ulit. Pampalimot.
A little bit of good news, guys. You can officially put those brooms away. Tago yung mga walis. Because officially there will be no sweep. This season, the UAP, of course, with UP beating Ateneo again, their first loss of the season. Now every team has a one, at least a one on that loss column. So a bit of good news in terms of the whole standings of the UAP. Interesting game there. UP, I would go to the things that they did and how it reflected on our game against Ateneo a bit later. But at LaSalle's game on NU happening on Sunday. But interesting for the Ateneo game that happened last Wednesday. Guys, halftime, their cheerleaders, the Blue Babel Battalion, had a little stunt. With their statement shirts. They used to do it once at a time. Diba? Kurakot ikulong. Na-immerse na sa UP for some reason. No? Alam mo bakit sila ganyan. No?
Actually, kahit yung UP pep nga, diba? Di ko lang alam kung nakanood yung mga patatamaan nung...
But, of course. We know UP, ano yan? Corporate sponsors ang UP. Malinis yan.
Corporate.
Yeah, corporate
sponsors.
Kapitalismo sila.
Everything they're saying, how they're funded, ano yan? Above board lahat yan. Diba?
Oo,
it's all
legal lahat.
corporate funding.
Walang amendments yan.
Thanks.
Walang amendments.
It's all
yan.
thanks to the
Generosity.
It's all thanks to the generosity of their alumni.
Yan.
Of their faithful alumni.
Yan.
Diba? Sa UP.
Siyempre.
Oh.
So now UP is back in the mix after that 0-2 start. But now let's focus on LaSalle, guys. We're playing NU, who's at 4-1 after that big comeback against Adamson. Deal is at 2-2. But guys, let's bring up some PTSD right now. Looking back at Ateneo loss, we had a lot of comments, and thanks to you guys for listening to our episodes, giving comments, and it'll be discussed on the show. Anthony Francis Andal said this loss to Ateneo might do more good than harm. Being optimistic there, right? Hopefully. Praying we come out of our shell after this and make us realize how much effort it will take for us to win every game. For such effort can take us if we just dish it out each and every performance, regardless if we keep missing our shots. Okay, another commenter on YouTube said, I was really surprised that they didn't have the fourth quarter from the start. And Explorations, interesting name there, said the players can go only as far as coach prepared them to go. The 4-game stretch of bad games is all on the coaching staff. Okay, guys, a lot of to dissect there. Coming from that loss against Ateneo, do you think that comeback, which is the real LaSalle team there, do you think it's that the team we saw for those first 3.5 quarters or the team we saw in the late part of the fourth quarter making that key comeback? How about you, Vic? What did you think?
Yes, siguro may kulang sa adjustments ng coaches, but at the same time, I think yung body language din ng team is not good. So, let's stop doing this blaming it's the coach's blunder or the player's blunder. They win as a team, they lose as a team. Hindi pwedeng one-sided accountability lang pagdating sa ganyan. I really hate hearing those stuff. Kasi dapat lahat kayo accountable. Hindi pwedeng isa lang mag-a-adjust, hindi pwedeng isa lang yung magtatrabaho para manalo kayo. Should be both ways. Unang-una, coaches can only do so much. They can just put you in the proper places on the court kung saan ka maging effective. Pag nasa loob ka na, it's all the players. Players ang dumidiskarte, players ang nagbabasa ng sitwasyon, players ang nagre-react. hindi pwedeng para kang de-robot, papasok ka sa loob, kung anong sabihin ng coach. Yeah, that's one thing, pero syempre kailangan mo rin basahin kasi yung kalaban mo, nag-aaral din naman yung kalaban mo, pinag-aaralan ka rin yan eh. So basically, lahat ng sinabi ng coach mo, pwedeng hindi maging effective yun. So paano yun, di ba? Pag nasa loob ka ng court, hindi naman pwedeng instant na makakapag-crokis agad yung coach mo and they will tell you what to do agad-agad. So it's really important also for the players to think and react para kung alam nila kung anong gagawin nila sa loob eh. So it's a paano 50-50 thing. Body language natin first half, as I said nung recap episode natin, I didn't see any diin sa depensa counter to what, parang night and day nga tayo eh, nung fourth quarter and the first 3 quarters. Tsaka lang tayo pumukpok nung fourth quarter na pwede pala natin gawin the whole game. So ako yun yung tanong ko eh, na bakit fourth quarter lang natin ginawa. I wish I would have seen that kind of an effort for the rest of the game. So hindi ko rin alam why. I mean that's for the team to answer or to reflect on themselves moving forward as the season progresses. Ako yun. So ano pa lang talaga, it's not all about the coaches. I mean the body language ng players, it's really flat. And when the team plays flat, I don't think you can blame the coaches that much kasi hindi naman sila naglalaro doon. So I don't know with the players why they came out flat no first 3 quarters. It's only for them to answer as well and talk about as a team.
Yeah, I understand, and I totally agree. It's not it's not just one thing. It's hard to pinpoint. Free throws alone, we can't blame that on the coaches, right? And we're computing the free throws. How's our free throw percentage for the season so far when you're doing the math?
It's 59 out of 108, so I know just above 55% if my math stack up. So.
Diba? If I got that score in a test nung high school elementary, grounded na ako for life for sure.
A little yeah.
Hindi na ako palabasin yan.
a little under 55 pa nga pala. So, hindi pa umabot ng 55%. That's the context.
Yeah, partida, Mike Phillips shot free throws. Not a good showing pa nung last game, partida ba, diba? But going back to your point, Vic, I agree. Although, on the other side, I do see that there are still some adjustments that the coaches still need to make in terms of the lineup and how to get the right mix of players on the court. I think that's something that, it's early in the season, but I think that's something, and we're talking about the right mix, right rotation of players, and hopefully that will come. Hopefully that's something that gives a sense in the NU game, and that's something some of our listeners have been listening to, in terms of finding the right tandem. Brian Carive so saying, we need a glue guy. Jacob, Mike, and Kian take the lead. Miguel De Leon also said from the comments, definitely a learning lesson for this iteration of our team. Start with the Kian and Jacob tandem. They have to stop playing your turn, my turn basketball. Do you think, Brian, looking at how the different mix of our players on the court, do you think there's something that we need to adjust in the Kian, Jacob tandem? We try to put them for the same time. Kian has a different style, very, very, how do you put it? Very free-willing, free spirit type of player. That's what makes him hard to guard. Jacob a bit more, structured, traditional in his play, but still can do flashy things. But do you think there's a problem there meshing into our backcourt?
When I saw that comment, ang iniisip ko is, do they have to work more together? That's the thing that I'm trying to reimagine with that statement. Because they alone, Kian, Jacob, they can do things. They can help the team their ways. But I'm looking, maybe the fans are looking for more collaboration. That more time together on the floor would translate to better offensive flow. So, I guess that's what they're looking for. And hindi pa nakikita, unfortunately, because Kian missed, let's just say, a game and a half. And then he also didn't have a great outing to start the season. If there's anything, yung fourth quarter, they can draw inspiration from that. And hopefully regain that energy, carrying over that spirit they showed in the fourth. and put it straight away first quarter. Because right now they should realize that not just the two, everyone in the team should realize that if they really put in the spirit, the effort from minute 1 and sustain it until minute 40, because they've been doing that naman in the previous games, USD, FU, Adamson. There are moments there that they really look unstoppable. The problem is sometimes it seems that it's themselves that stuck them. So that's the worry perhaps that our fellow fans have. Um, but if we don't stop ourselves, I mean, if the archers don't stop themselves in that matter, then they should be tough to beat. Yun talaga yun.
Yeah. Now, looking, guys, let's put it into context. We started off the season as one of the favorites or the favorites for the title, right? We're now at 2-2. We went through this entire week of questions about LaSalle, about the players, coaches, a bit of identity crisis there, or what are you really for real in this season? Now we go into this game against NU, flying high, 4-1, one of the contenders of the season. I can imagine the pressure there. Do you think, Vic, this is already a must-win game? So we're 2-2. We could, if we lose a game, we go 2-3. 3 losses. That puts you on the tightrope for the twice to beat. That changes the whole dynamic for season. Is this a must-win for the team? And is that pressure there reaching that level this early in the season already?
Yung pressure kasi dapat, I think for me, for a team like LaSalle, every year may pressure ka naman talaga eh. It's just depende na sa iyo on how you adapt, how you embrace it, and kaya nga ang 'di ba, hindi ka, if you can't take this pressure, hindi ka bagay sa programang ito kasi there's always pressure when you play for LaSalle, and I think equally for Ateneo, yun eh. If you play for those two teams, there's always pressure when you put on that jersey kasi alumni criticism pa lang is just way too much for 'di ba, hindi siya ganoon kadali maglaro for those two teams, kaya yung pressure nandiyan yan. It's just up to them to really embrace it and perform, 'di ba? Parang grace under pressure nga, sabi nga nila. So that's one thing, and it's a must win since NU is a contender. Yun eh. I think in a short tournament, it's important to get as much wins as you can. I think yun yung pinaka-important thing dun. You only have 14 elimination round games, and you need to set yourself up for a twice to beat advantage. So that's another thing. So yes, sa akin it's a must win. Hindi we don't ask too much naman if it's tambak or a close game. For as long as we're winning, I think ako personally, as far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with it, whether tambak or close game. Basta for as long as we get those wins, kasi ang hirap, ang pinakamasakit sa akin is pagdating ng playoff pwestuhan, umaasa ka sa outcome ng ibang laro for you to get wherever you want to go. Yun yung pinakamasakit sa akin, and ayoko lagi ng ganong feeling.
Yeah. Now, Brian, now looking at this game, we got another comment from one of our listeners. Let me see here. I put out this comment of his name earlier. Here. His name is Lucian Marcos. Pang gladiator yung name niya. Lucian Marcos for
Marcos
diba?
Aurelius.
Diba? Diba? Lucian ba?
Oh.
So I'm sure he was not entertained by our last performance at Ateneo, but he says bounce back is definitely the imperative of the next game. That's where we will engage our season. So Brian, one of the terms, it's not in the dictionary, one of the terms we love in sports is bounce back ability, right? That's coming off a loss. How do you respond? It's trademark of champions. Given that, what do you want to see of the Argos this next game? Is it a must win? Do we want to go you can imagine that reality. You wake up Monday morning where we are 2-3, with 2 games to go in the first round.
Yeah, must win in that sense, but also must win to really rinse off any ill feelings carried over from the Ateneo game. Kasi, I mean, as much as any loss against Ateneo would sting, I think may mga factors in that game where it left a lot to be desired, especially the first 3 quarters. So it's a bounce back game, not just for the result. It's a bounce back game to make a statement. Kasi if NU would find it easy against LaSalle, then I mean, not to say that NU wouldn't be a contender, they are. But I will say it in a way that would seem like if they find it easy, then everyone else would, even UE, who still hasn't had a win, could look at that Wednesday game and say, oh, if NU can beat you, then maybe we can have a try as well. Unlike, let's say, if we put out a strong performance, respond from how we really messed up Sunday, then there you go. There's that fear factor that will come back because right now it's eroding. I mean, if you don't really put the performances in, people will look at the LaSalle games with less trepidation and just say, "Oh, it's a 50-50 game. We can take them on." They will not say, "Oh, we can beat LaSalle," but rather, we don't seem to find it as difficult as it used to be, at least in the past 2 seasons. So just bring that fear factor back to the opponents by putting in the performances that require ruthlessness din. Yun nga, free throws, binibigayan tayo 27 a game on average. So maybe try to make 20, 21 out of them instead of 15. Diba? So it starts there.
Sinabi nga Matanista, Brian, dinadaya na lang yung 4th quarter, yung referee pinapahabol tayo. So they kept giving us fouls. You know what, guys? Ayaw namin ng foul. We don't want to go to the free throw line. Have you noticed? Ayaw namin yun.
Dapat free 3 na lang talaga, no?
Inbound or labas. Inbound or labas, yun ang gusto namin.
Kung free dunk yun, instead of 2 free throws, okay, baka magreklamo sila kasi almost 100% naman yung dunks na.
Disadvantage sa amin yun. But Bri, you were saying before the show started that our 2 wins this season are against Adamson. Yeah, strong showing. We also beat FEU, who's down there in the standings, but still, there. But we really haven't beaten a big dog, right? You were saying this season, and we play here. Yeah. There's no other bigger dog than the Bulldogs in that term. How important is this? A statement game, statement win type of scenario for you?
I would like to think so, and this comes at a good opportunity. If we review the preview episode, diba, I remember that the flow is nice. It just so happens that the results haven't been as nice as we expected it to be. In my cards, I expected us to lose to USD, but not to Ateneo. So there is this pattern emerging that we haven't been winning or losing in a row. So hopefully that continues on Sunday and stops on Wednesday. It means that we address the rut before it becomes a problem, because losing 2 in a row and going below 500 at that point of the season will really bring serious questions. And even if, let's say, it would kill me if we play really well and just lose a 50-50 type of game, if NU also delivers a performance worthy of winning any game and we do the same, it boils down to free throws, then alam mo yan, that would be a gut-wrenching way to lose it. But on another hand, if LaSalle plays really well, hindi rapat sa ganun. And I think we can draw from at least the preseason that we haven't lost to NU, although law of averages is also there. So let's see on Sunday. We can, later on we'll be talking about the matchups naman. So I guess that's where we're about to go.
Yeah. So let's deep dive now into this NU matchup. And let's do it in 2 ways, guys. First, let's talk about the mental side of the game before we go to the tactical side. Vic, you said one of the biggest hurdles this team is facing or will be facing is really the mental side of the game. She's now coming out from a loss from Ateneo, coming out from all this pressure and challenges and all these mental challenges on the court. Talk about the importance of mentality in facing off against NU this Sunday.
Not just against NU, but every game that we play, dapat nandun yung at the I mean for us fans, 'di ba? Parang happy naman tayo if we see that we are competing, we're fighting. Ano, alam mo yun, 'di ba? Yung fighting attitude ba that we see.
Yung effort nung fourth quarter.
Yes,
So,
diba?
you were saying, the effort we showed the fourth quarter. Yep. Yeah,
'Di ba? So
the urgency.
it's
Yung urgency
yun,
na yun.
Yun na dali mo. So ang pinaka-important talaga dyan is may sense of urgency ka maglaro, especially again on a short tournament like this. It's really important na nandun yung attitude mo, yung right frame of mind in the game, na let's do whatever it takes, kung anong effort na kailangan nating gawin to win. Kasi whatever X's and O's ang pinrepair ng coaching staff, if you're not mentally prepared to play, walang may execute lahat sa game plan. And again, at the end of the day, yung coaching staff na naman yung sisisihin dyan if the players don't sabihin nila na walang nangyari, walang ginawa, but the coaches will always prepare something for it. It's important then for the players on their side on that aspect to kailangan tulungan din nila yung sarili nila na kailangan mentally prepared ako and I'm mentally tough to go into war. Kasi kami yung nasa loob ng court. We are the ones translating what the coaches have done for us and yung kung ano yung paano kami mag-iisip sa loob ng court while we're playing. So yun yun. It's really a very, very, very important aspect sa laro ng basketball or in other team sports or in any sport pala, sorry. Team sport, individual sport, it's really important that you're on your right frame of mind pagka naglalaro.
Yeah. Now, coming up, Brian, coming off a big win against Adamson. They ended that game on a 15-2 run to pull off a close one against the Falcons, right? So, led by Jake Figueroa, had a big game. Now, seeing what the problems Ateneo gave us, right, with like Escobar, the bigger 3 and 4s were athletic. Do you see an issue for NU doing the same things that against LaSalle?
Yeah, I'm more particularly interested how we cope with their front line. I think that's where they can punish us. And by front line, I'm not saying just the center. It's also the wings and yung mga power forwards nila. Because they've shown that last season even with Kevin in the lineup. So it's going to take some effort from Mike, Luis, Mason. Maybe with si LeBron also being deployed. And if necessary, si Bright, of course, with Omar John. Because Omar John is imposing in himself. But there are also other guys like Padrones, Palacielo, and then even their flashy wings na Francisco, Manansala. So you expect them to make it difficult for us in that department because they can stretch the floor and at the same time can post you up. So, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem pound for pound. We should have personnel, but the problem is they play more as a unit. So it's sometimes difficult to just focus on one guy because if you put too much emphasis on one guy, there's another guy there that can benefit from that emphasis you place on. Let's say you emphasize your approach on Palaciano, and then that would free up the space for Manansala or Padrones or whoever is with him on the floor, or maybe even to Omar Jan, diba? So that's how NU operates in that sense. But Saturn, we should also maximize our strengths, I guess. I mean, we always worry about the opponent, but for me, we should also worry about the underperformance we are putting in the offense. So that's what I'm looking for initially.
Yeah. Then looking at this, they really attack. Kasi Addison to really put off the run. They're really attacking Adams in the interior. The answer were not able to stop them from getting inside and scoring. Vic, looking at this game, remember Ateneo, one of the key was the attack. They got Mason and Mike top of the key, able to put isolation on them and get past them, able to get inside. Do you see a risk of the same NU putting the same blueprint on our game? And how do you think we should be able to counter that with what we have?
Malamang they will try to do that, pero I don't think we will fall under the same trap twice. I think nakita naman na dapat ng coaching staff natin during game review na probably it won't it will be challenging to work again. Pero tama, Kicks, binanggit mo yung points in the paint. The only loss of the season for NU came when they lost on paint points. So kaya magandang point yung binanggit mo, Kicks, kanina, kasi yung talo nila against UP, that's the only game where NU didn't win the points in the paint battle. So I think that's one crucial thing for us na pwede natin tignan. If we can be more efficient within the paint, getting points in the paint, I think it will be very challenging kay NU buong game. And si NU kasi, give credit to them, ang sipag nila mag-help and rotate. So hindi ka pwedeng early looks. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-early look sa kanila. Kailangan tiyagain mong tamarin yung depensa nila, make use as much of the clock, or move the ball east to west. Kailangan pinapagalaw mo talaga sila and then get those inside point. Kasi kaya si UP no nakahanap ng butas sa loob kasi breakdown and na until they find napagtiyagaan ni UP na hanapin yung butas kung nasaan pwedeng makakuha ng points against NU, and I think that's one thing na pwede rin natin tignan as well. Kasi once you get those inside points going, dun din bumibigay mentally tong si NU. That's one thing that we can take advantage of. On the defensive side.
Vic, before you go to the defense, interesting point you said, but we were discussing, remember, during that game that we cannot just rely on Mike Phillips to give us those interior points.
Correct.
Since he's best of putbacks, offensive rebounds, that's where he's scoring. Do you see another angle that we can attack that interior and win the points to paint battle against UP? Against NU, like what UP did? Yeah.
Mason has to yung mga short hooks, mga kahit siguro, I think yung mga guards natin, if they can consistently make those mid-range jumpers, mga free throw line jumpers nila,
it'll open it up.
It's nice. It's nice already. Or kung sa bigs man, I hope Pubs can make short stabs here and there. Tas yun nga kay Mason din, if they can score from ng mga medyo malapit-lapit sa basket, not those long shots. I think it will definitely be a big help for us if we want to control those paint points battle. Pati fast break points as well. Yeah, we have to limit NU kasi NU is very good also. Similar to Ateneo, magaling si NU mag-force ng turnover. So that's another thing. We can't allow it to lalaki yung laro just because turnover, easy points again on the other end. Yun, medyo will be in trouble and will be for a very, very long afternoon if magiging ganun yung tema ng game natin.
Then defensively, going back to your point, Vic, we just want them. We have to make NU uncomfortable and not get into the rhythm, which is something we've struggled to do this season, right?
Yung kasi paint points din ng first option nila, which is I understand kasi si Jake Figueroa loves to take those mid-range stabs. Sobrang favorite ni Jake yun Kung hindi siya makakasaksak all the way, hihinto yan somewhere in the paint, throw those floaters here and there or mid-range jumpers. Magaling si Jake sa ganun So yun yung yun yung mga go-to moves niya, so to speak. So NU is also living within the paint. So if you take away that from them, it will be a huge importance. Tsaka I think NU is one of the lowest teams taking free throws. So that's one thing. Hindi sila talaga, which means they will prefer
Swerte nila.
taking those. Yes. Oh, di ba? Parang they only take 15 to 16 free throws a game if I'm not mistaken. So andun yung what does it say about them? Hindi sila, they really try to take shots na open. So if you take those openings na wala silang it will be, hindi sila mahilig na sasaksak kukuha ng contact against you. So it's just play honest defense. And they also NU also lives on second chance points, similar sa atin. So that's one thing also na kailangan natin tignan. So medyo mapapalaban ulit yung mga binanggit na ni Brian. They have Palacielo, they have Padrones na medyo bulky bigs. So medyo mapapalaban ulit tayo from the interior. So ayun, with our three big rotation, si Pabs, si Mason, si Mike, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyayari kay Bright. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping that he can already help on Sunday kasi we really need those big bodies on Sunday.
Oh nga, I don't know. Matangkad naman siya. I don't know why Topi's not seeing him on the bench. Maybe there's a fit the rotation.
Hindi ko rin alam.
But interesting point, Vic. And you know what? If NU with 15 free throws a game still finds a way to make more free throws than we do, we're going in for a long Sunday this weekend.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan.
Diba? Brian, interesting. Kian Baclaan, former NU Bulldog, back to the doghouse. No, not the sporting doghouse, but back facing his former school. What can you expect out of Kian out of this game? Mason Amos. Tough game for his former school. The crowd was on him. I don't expect the same reception for Kian because first there's no one to give the kind of reception for NU. We're still trying to count the NU students who are on our friends list. We have found a few, but still not enough to fill up an upper box section. But
Gagi, Q-Pub yung laro.
Ay,
sa kanila. Malapit lang sa kanila. So baka maraming manood sa kanila.
But they're unofficial home court.
Yeah, correct.
Vic, kahit malapit, but is there enough, di ba? Kailangan parang they could take some tips on yung naghahakot ng mga crowd pang rally. Ganun yun eh. May pa-Jollibee dito! Halika, may pa-Jollibee! May naka-styro na ready ng two-piece burger steak. But, Brian, what is that of Kian Baclaan facing his former school?
Well, this game, it seems like a full circle moment for him because he was supposed to commit to the UST Growling Tigers after Zobel, diba? And then last minute decided, okay, Sampaloc, NU na lang. But so he played there for a couple of seasons. Now he's with us, actualizing that he admitted naman long before that he wanted to be with LaSalle. And now that he's here, he has to ball out. I think we've been seeing moments, especially how he played the second quarter against UST. That's where we can see that that's how we know Kian plays, and that's what we can expect from him time and again. And NU, there are caveats. Of course, the guards know how he plays. So they would be familiar with his approaches. They probably know a thing or two about stopping them, as NU showed with Akoe. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting picture because you expect Kian to ball out. Maybe if he can play similarly to how Remogat played against UE, then that would do wonders for us. But at the same time, I also want him to play well in the sense that he doesn't have to produce a lot of points, because Kian in the games this season, he's also sometimes looking to create for his teammates as well. Meron siya mga pasa kay Brett, I think Adamson game, na parang hindi pa malinis minsan yung salo, so sabi, or UST pa, sabi ko sayang kasi he has the vision, he can make the offense tick. It's just a problem of, alam mo yung mga problem ni KQ din season 86 earlier on and season 85, like he's trying to create clever passes that sometimes are too clever even for his teammates.
Yep.
So let's see on Sunday how he plays not just with the team, also with Jacob. Because we've been seeing Jacob being the de facto closer for us. Like when I mean in the crunch time situation, the ball is usually in Jacob's hand. So with Kian also
Yeah.
there, maybe we give him the reins. Balancing act na siya, and maybe the best way, like what we mentioned earlier in this episode, is to make them work together. Two
Eh,
things are better
going
than one.
going back to Brian, I've seen some people, discussing online, talking about should there just to help fix that balance between Jacob and Kian. Should it be Jacob the first five? He be the stabilizer. Then should Kian be that six man off the bench to give you that spark, that spitfire, which is actually the way his playing style, right? And somehow try to get him the court at that fourth quarter. But will that give us a better balance looking at what we've seen so far, what with Kian? And is this the right game to explore something like that? And Vic, we can go to your thoughts after. Yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead,
it's
Bri.
ideal. It's ideal to have them switch for the first three quarters because you want that 1-2 punch only in the late stages where it's necessary. Where
Tama.
if it becomes necessary, of
Pag
course.
diinan.
So it's a good dynamic. Yeah, it's a good dynamic that first three quarters you have the luxury of choosing Jacob or Kian, which I think that has been the case naman. We've been seeing the coaching staff rarely putting them at the same time on the floor. So I'm just looking at Kian maybe has to make the most of his for a lack of a better term, batchmates, yung second string. He has to make the most of that because if that's the cards given to him, diba? That's the only way he can perform. There's an argument there that maybe Kiat Baclan works better than Jacob Cortez when it comes to starting lineup. Maybe Kiat can make the most out of the starting lineup more than Jacob does.
Interesting.
Diba? I mean, I'm not sure how that pans out, but it's an argument for another day. But yun nga, I think it's that's where the coaching staff's evaluation of the situation will come into play. Kasi these players, they will really play their best basketball. And if we try to make them adjust at this point in the season, it's already going to be futile. Kasi we should have seen that in March. We should have seen that in May. We should have seen that in July. But if we are seeing it in October, di ba, parang maybe that's panic buttons manifestation kung ganun man.
How about you, Vic? How do you see do we need to balance it out there to sort of point guard rotation?
Oh, kasi sila lang dalawang option natin for point guard spots
That's true.
So kaya di
We
ba?
have Gia, Gomez and Kines, but yeah, just veteran presence sila. You're right.
Yes.
Oo.
So talagang lang sila papagsabayin mo lang talaga sila pagdiinan eh. Although magandang point siguro magandang point of reflection dito is nung UST game when we had that good stretch, may times na magkasabay sila sa court eh. Kasi it gives pressure sa kalaban mo kasi magkaiba sila ng style eh. So you need to defend them na magkaiba. So mag-a-adjust ka talaga. It puts too much pressure if they're both inside the floor na on the assumption na everything is maayos . So with that right mentality na they will play well, it gives too much pressure sa defense ng kalaban. How will you stop the both of them? Kasi they can really both attack downhill and make decisions on the fly. So yun yung doon. So hindi masamang subukan at the early point of the game, but not sagad. Let's see how it will play out, and then yun nga pagdating ulit ng fourth quarter, kung cross finger sana hindi na kailanganin. Pero kung talagang kakailanganin mo siya, yun, dun mo na lang siya ulit susubukan.
Parang parang baseball parlance. Instead na may closer ka, opener na. Hindi opener na. As in, ilagay mo na din yung closer mo.
Malagay mo na doon. Tingnan mo. Set the tone ba? Set the tone, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting for against NU. We've struggled. We split with them last season. Maybe if Omar John didn't get injured the first game, we might even have lost that game. But we did beat them twice in the preseason. In a provincial tournament, Kian Bacala even led the way to beat them. The field. He scored 18 points. But that was a Mikey Cortez clutch game.
Three times.
Yeah, Asia Basket. Yeah. Asia Basket. That's right. Yes. So it'll be an interesting matchup. UAP is, of course, a different story. NU coming off a big win against Adamson. I remember, guys, before we end, a little NU Adamson dati, back in the day, Vic, Brian, you guys remember, back in the days, especially growing up, yan yung automatic 2 p.m. Thursday matchup on Studio 23.
Yan.
Ayun ba? Battle for 7th yan nung araw
Tama.
Tapos, alala ko, yan yung 2 p.m. game before the Lasal Ateneo game na hindi pa split tickets.
Kaya yun
It was the safest bet.
Kasi konti lang yung nanonood so pwede kang pumasok na talaga ng first game.
Kahit
pwede ka na pumasok.
makatipid ba Araneta sa aircon nun? Low cool lang yung aircon nun or naka-high fan. Nung araw, di ba?
Kasi
tipid pa konting tao
Tapos mararamdaman mo na lang pag palapit na yung game na tsaka na lang lalamig yan. Kasi, yung mga, ano ba ito, yung mga maaarting Lasalisa tsaka Atinista, nandiyan na, lalagyan na natin ng aircon.
That was the classic 7th place matchup. Of course, times have changed, times are different. And speaking of time, guys, before we do our predictions, for your classic timeless look, check out Ibarra Manila. Check out their watches on Instagram, on their other social media pages. Great watches. Classic, same for Lasallian style and true Lasalista brand. A portion of their proceeds go to helping Lasallian athletes. So it's a great way to give back while staying stylish. Check them out online at the DLSAA office. All right, guys, to end the episode, what are your predictions? Let's start off with Vic. How do you see the game going? What do you see the results as?
We'll win mga 6 points siguro, mga ganun. 6 to 7 points na panalo. That's how I see it.
Ilang free throws yung ilang free throws shoot natin doon? Ilang percentage natin? What's our free throw percentage?
Baba pa rin. Pero seriously, we keep on laughing about it. Pero syempre, hindi ka naman tumitigil umasa na darating yung game na will fare better from the free throw line. Kasi nga, I hope the team realizes na we are very good getting into the line. We're very good getting fouled. Big sabihin, aggressive tayo. We just have to make those shots. Kaya nga free throw Make those shots count.
Baka lang may bantay. Baka yung kailangan may bantay sa free throw. Pwede ba yan? Gaganon sa harap.
Yun pala yung yung guide, yung braso.
Yung braso, yung guide.
When we're at the free throw line, I think the LaSalle crowd should start making noise too. Make it as less free as possible. I think that's how you try that from now on. Pauluin na yung mga drums, lahat. It might work That might be the key.
Funny.
We've tried everything else.
Funnily enough, nung Sunday against Ateneo, we shot better no second half when we were shooting in front of when the players were shooting in front of the Ateneo side.
Oo nga,
so maybe
tama. Baka yun yung sikreto. Lagi lang tayo shoot pag free throws. Ay, hindi. Ayaw namin dito rin. Doon kami shoot sa ng kalaban. Doon kami shoot sa kabila.
Penalty shootout penalty shootout.
Ayaw namin
Alright.
dito.
How about you, Bri? What's your prediction? How will the game go on Sunday?
Predict ko, mananalo tayo. Ayoko mag-trigger, ayoko bait ng mga fellow fans natin na baka sabihin, uy, talo tayo. Pinredict niya, talo tayo. Na I still see that the win is tangible, it's there, it's gettable. For me, the sense of urgency is really on us. If we are not desperate enough, we deserve to lose this game.
Yes.
Yun
Agree.
Sa akin.
Agree.
Kasi right
what
now,
more can you... Yeah.
I was telling Kiko before Vic came on sa pre-prod namin na it was also good, me silver lining, that NU won against Adamson, because if they lost that game, you would have two desperate sides wanting a win, kasi that would have been a losing streak for NU had they lost to Adamson. I'm not gonna say magre-relax na sila, but they would definitely be less desperate to get a win than us. So we should show that hunger, we should show that fight, and we should show that composure amidst all that.
The mental side Vic was talking about, definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Brian.
and if they deliver in that side, their game will come out. Yun yan eh. Kasi if they show hunger, determination,
Yes,
and yung committed sila, and like what Gio said in the FEU preview of a few episodes ago, if they continue to play LaSalle basketball, they shouldn't lose. It's usually yung talo natin nangyayari when there are moments in the game that we just suddenly look lost and we stop playing the way we play basketball. If nadadala tayo ng emotions negatively, I think that allowed Ateneo to build a 33-point lead that allowed UST to overturn a 12-point deficit into an 11-point lead eventually. So I guess if the players and the coaches collectively, if the team can respond to those situations smartly, hindi na mangyayari ulit yung this season. I'm willing to bet my money on that. But of course, that's a big if then. So NU really is a proper test. We should come out with that desperation to correct things. 2-3 is unthinkable to start the season, but it is not as unthinkable as it is now. So yes, I'm betting on our team to win, but they have to really bet on themselves. Yun yung pinakamahalaga dyan. And not financially, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Baka maano ka, Tyler Hero ka. Tyler Hero ka.
Yeah. I'm not predicting, but I'm hoping for a big bounce back game from Mason on Sunday. I think Vic's right. He'll be crucial to getting those interior points, taking the burden of Mike Phillips. I hope from a big game from Kian. He's been playing well against his former team. If those two things click alongside Jacob and our defense is there, hopefully that'll be enough. I do not want to live in the reality where we are 2-3 come Monday, because that'll be a tough path forward from then on, even this early in the season. So guys, all the best. Hopefully we can pull it off on Sunday. It's about, let's see what this team is made of. Let's see if they can bounce back. Let's see how they respond. All right, that'll be the true test of this team's character. More than that, it'll be a character game of how we can bounce back against, I think, coming off that big loss against our rivals. So guys, we'll be back. Thank you for everyone. Subscribe to Quiver on YouTube or Spotify. We'll be back on Monday if the world is still around, and we'll see the haters in the comment section as well of that game. You only have to watch the episode, but we'll see you there. But hopefully, all the best to the team, all the best to everyone watching. Hopefully, we need some good vibes in this place, and hopefully Sunday brings us back on track.
Sana nga. Yeah.
Brian, diba? Para masarap yung kain natin to Sunday. But so, Brian, Vic, as we always say, Animo Lasal.
Lasal.